We're moving now into the 8th inning, and Lanier has finished pitching for today. Deb Gomes, a couple of years ago, who won the batting championship when he was a member of the Pirates in the National League, then went out and played a year in the Pacific Coast and was brought back and has been the spare part man, both outfield and infield alike, and pinch hitter deluxe for the Cardinals this year. Deb Gomes is swinging a couple of sticks, and he will hit first as we move into the 8th inning.
Number 9, batting for Lanier.
Deb Gomes this year hit 265 in the current season, and Lanier, after 7 innings, is finished. Max gave up 4 runs, only the second 2 were earned. It's sort of an oddity in scoring, the way you figure the earned runs against Lanier. Because, of course, the first run the Yankees got was completely unearned. It was through Lanier's own error that Prezzetti, who scored that first run, got a life on base. And then, of course, you would think that Gordon's home run would be an earned run, but it wasn't, because, according to the scoring, had there not been the error, Gordon would never have even batted in the 4th inning. And the runs that came in the 6th inning were set up by the wild pitch, but they're earned because an earned run is basically a run that the pitcher is responsible for. So Deb Gomes, left-hand batter, leans over the plate, crowds it from behind. Chokes that bat, uses a brown piece of wood. Chandler pitches over, sort of a slider, for a called strike. That's one of Spud's most effective pitches. That's the pitch that is thrown like the fastball and has a break, but it's a quick one, not a big one. Gomes swings and pulls a ground ball down foul behind first base. Gomes is the type batter who's going to get a piece of that ball most times. Not the distance hitter, but he's a punch hitter. First pinch hitter of the 1943 World Series. Beginning of the 8th inning. 4-2 the Yankees. Cardinals needing 2, trying to get him. Gomes takes a low inside curve. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gomes, I think it'll surprise most people to know it, and surprise a lot of ball players, is one of the fastest men on his feet in the business. Takes a pitch that is high, 4-2. I know the Cardinals were surprised at spring training camp this year. This veteran came walking in and they had a foot race. And, of course, before a foot race is training camp, there's usually 2 or 3 days of argument. And nobody had been picking Gomes, and he ran away with the whole thing. Deb swings and misses for strike 3, and Chandler slowed up on him and gave him that screwball and struck him out. This is strikeout number 3. And, ladies and gentlemen, there is a magnificent aerial show going on overhead. So our service planes in a salute to the series, which reminds us of last year. You'll recall when the bomber flew over, in which Billy South, voice boy, was in, flew over at St. Louis. Several just went over a moment ago. Gee, it was great. They went over nothing flat. Lou Klein swings on the first pitch and hits a fly ball into right center, and it is in for a base hit. So Klein, stepping in with 1 man out, dropped a single into right center field. He dropped it right in the spot between the right fielder, the center fielder, and the second baseman. And Harry Walker stepping in. Just who will be the relief pitcher for St. Louis against the Yankees in the 8th inning, we don't know. There are 3 pitchers in the bullpen, and at the stadium, you cannot see who is working in the bullpen. They're completely hidden from view. We can't see them for you until they actually come out and step up on the outfield grass. Harry Walker has gone 0 for 3. Gets in. Klein with a base hit, leads down off first. Walker crouches and takes a curve inside under the hands. They've really tried to pitch him that way all afternoon. Been doing it. Ball 1. Klein's base hit was hit number 6 of Chandler. Bud works, and there is a bounding ball hit slowly to third, and just in time is a play at second base, no play at first, to force at second. Johnson up with it, threw unerringly to Joe Gordon. Klein was forced at second base. A half-speed trickler. Johnson had to charge that one, and he did. Didn't lose any time. Third baseman to the second baseman. Harry Walker with a force out on at first, and 2 men are gone. And there, of course, was another salute, and there still is another. I'm telling you, it's a great sight to see some of our big ships go by. When you see them go by, you can actually see why you've been buying war bonds and why you should be buying more of them. Bill Dickey, Spud Chandler, having a little conference, standing midway between the plate and the mound. The Yankees have gone ahead in the leading 4-2. Chandler working with consummate care, great deliberation, especially the Musial. That's why the conference is now with the wise and experienced Bill Dickey. Musial, who's developed into the game's great natural hitter, out today. No challenge to that for this season. He's the boy. Chandler then calls Etten over to him, and they meet halfway between first base and the mound. So Spud tells the first baseman how he wants him to play with Harry Walker on and the way he's going to pitch to Musial. Well, we'll see what happens. Chandler delivers. Musial takes low outside, fast curve, all one. 2 down, top of the 8th. Right fielder Steinbach is straight away. Left fielder Keller is straight away. Center fielder Lindale's a couple of steps toward left. The pitch swung on as a line drive to right for a base hit. Around second base goes Harry Walker, and then he holds on. The throw goes all the way to third, and Harry goes back into second. Line single hit into right field by Stan Musial. His first hit of the series, and he hit that one just as authoritatively that Gillette blue blades make all over the world. So the tying run is at first base. That was hit number 7 for the Cardinals. Here's the big catcher, Walker Cooper. A mighty dangerous man up there with the lumber. Chandler knows it. There's activity in the Yankee bullpen. Outfield toward left on Walker, who swings, hits a bounding ball to third. Johnson up with it to throw to second in time for the force on Musial, and that's all for the threat. Force play, the third baseman to the second sacker. No runs, 2 hits, both of them left. And it is 4-2 favor the Yankees, and that ends the first half of the 8th inning. I've known manager Joe McCarthy for many years, and can vouch that he raises just about as tough a crop of whiskers as any man in the American League. But if you ask Joe, he'll tell you that shaving's no chore at all. Mighty quick and refreshing, in fact, when you soften your beard with Gillette shaving cream and whisk it off with today's Gillette Blue Blade. You know, fans, by giving wiry stubble a good soaking, you take all the back talk out of it. That's where Gillette shaving cream comes in. Take Gillette brushless, for example. Put it on while your beard's good and wet, and it holds the moisture right against your bristles, thoroughly saturating them all the time you're shaving. You'll be surprised, and I mean pleasantly, at the speed and ease of shaving this way. More than that, you'll like Gillette brushless because it's greaseless, won't clog your razor or bathroom drains. Ask your dealer for Gillette shaving cream, lather or brushless, only a quarter. Coming in for St. Louis is Bracken.
Now pitching for St. Louis.
Brechen. A lot of folks call it Brasheen, but he says that he and his family call it Bracken. That's good enough for us. I think the first rule in pronunciation of grammar is that you pronounce a proper name the way a fellow wants it pronounced. He won 9 and lost 6 in his rookie year. He's a left-hander, and the Cardinals call him the Cat. That's the impression they get the way he fields his position. He can really field it. He's a 5th infielder. He's also slightly bow-legged, and he moves around just sort of like a cat. He gives you that impression. He's very quick when he gets ready to pitch, but he deliberates and takes a long time. You can write a letter home sometimes when he's in a jam between pitches. So Harry Bracken coming on to relieve as we go into the last of the 8th inning with the Yankees ahead 4-2. Friends, we're going to take a few seconds now to identify the stations. This is Mutual.
This is WGN, the voice of the people, Chicago.
Bill Johnson, first up, last of the eighth. The first pitch is swung on and fouled back. Left-hander Harry Bracken coming right down. And so Southworth continues to spin his southpaw plans against the Yankees. Two pitchers, both of them left-handers. Bill believes in his left-handers. He threw him constantly 2 years in his tough series in the league. There's a swing and a miss. Low curve, strike two. Here's a kid finishing up his rookie year and being called upon for the first World Series game he's been around to finish it up. Johnson, rookie opposing him, 2 for 3. Swings, hits a slow bounding ball that Bracken off the mound. Picks up the throws to first base, and the cat throws him out. Yes, sir, he can get off that mound and field it. And Johnson is out, pitcher to first. Now stepping in is Charlie Keller. Dark, glowering up there at the plate. Never darker and never more glowering than when he comes up late in the ball game, 0 for 3. Bracken steadies him, stands back of the mound, revving up the ball. 1 out. The Yankees at bat and leading 4-2, last of the 8th inning, first game of the 1943 series. Keller digs in. Curve is over. Good, above the knees. 0-1. The outfield is very much toward right. They play Keller to hit in that direction. Big hole is left center. Right out toward the flagstaff. Right side of the infield is deep. Both the first and second baseman at the edge of the right field grass. Keller crouches. Takes a fastball that's high outside. 1-1. Bracken wants everything just right. Takes the side. Now he pumps once. Comes down. Low inside for ball 2. Put that one overhand. Goes to the rear of the mound. Takes a handkerchief out of his pocket. He's very cool. Seems like he was sitting on the back porch eating a slice of watermelon. Now he finally turns around. Keller digs in. Bracken still makes him wait. Now the left-hander goes to work, comes down. Keller swings at the line drive in the right field. It's a base hit. Musial takes on the second bounce, and Keller comes up with his first hit this series. A long single, about 10 feet fair, inside the right field foul line. So I guess Keller, for that base hit, says, I don't mind waiting. Single to right. And this is hit number 1 of Bracken and hit number 8 for the Yankees. They have scattered their hits over 7 different batters. The one who has 2 is Johnson. The fellows who have no hits are Etten and Lindell. Here's Gordon, who has the biggest hit so far, 400-foot-4 master. Joe, right-hand hitter, picks a fastball that's outside for ball 1. 1 away, last of the 8th. Keller at first. Ray Sanders, tall string bean first baseman, holding the bag against him. Outfield deep, around toward left. Gordon takes an inside curve under the hand, ball 2. Activity is still going on apace in the Cardinal bullpen. Young Bracken out there on the mound. Comes down out of his stretch. Delivers. And his fastball misses for ball 3, just outside. He wanted to get even with that one very, very much. Gordon steps out, and I think it's indicative that he takes a quick look at Fletcher to see whether he can hit or take. The Yankees, once they get ahead, they really like to pour it on. Bracken delivered hits at the shoulders when that pitch was turned loose. I think he was free to swing if he wanted to. He gave every... Keller leads for 4. The run and hit was on. Not a hit-and-run play. On a hit-and-run play, the batter must go after the pitch, no matter where it is. But on a run-and-hit play, which is always put on, this type with the count at least 3 balls, the batter has the choice if he thinks the pitch will be ball 4 to take it, which Gordon did. Keller moved down to second. So it's a base on balls. That's the first given up to the Yankees. And here is Bill Dickey getting in. Dropped a single into right center his last at bat. Bill's 1 for 3. Yankees threatening and already lead 4-2. After the 8th inning, 1 out. Bracken pitches, and Dickey takes a high inside fast pitch. Ball 1. Right side of the infield up 1 step, left side up 2. Outfield a couple of bases toward right. That's the defense pattern against Dickey. Bracken works, and it's a fastball low for ball 2, and Bracken motions that he doesn't want to pitch with that ball again. He's missed with it his last 6 tries. Eddie Rommel makes the switch. Gives him another one. Harry in position, comes down. A curve is over for call strike 1. 1. Dickey takes a toe hold. Square stance right off the plate. Gordon off first. Keller off second. There's call strike 2. Fastball that catches the inside, just off the hands. 2-2. Bracken very deliberate. The game now is 2 hours old. All the pitchers have been taking their time all afternoon. The 2-2 pitch, out. That is out number 2, the last of the 8th inning, and it is the 8th Yankee to go down on strikes. Here's Nick Etten, who's gone 0 for 3, and this is his first World Series game. The runners, of course, are ready to go on anything. Etten sets. Very much an open stance. He's a big fella, broad-backed. Little Bracken. Angular left-hander pitches, and Etten swings, hits a drive in the left field. Litwala has to come in a big hurry, and he makes a nice running catch of it, leaning down to his knees. And that finishes up the threat. Nice put out by the left fielder, no runs, 1 hit. 2 men left. So at the end of 8 innings, for the Cardinals as they come to bat, going into the ninth, 2 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. For the Yankees, 4 runs on 8 hits, and the Yankees also have 2 errors. Chandler, who has suffered 2 previous defeats in World Series competition, now walks to the mound with a 2-run lead, 3 outs to go in quest of his first World Series win. He's had a magnificent year, one of the great years in the all-time annals of Major League pitching. And of course, to top any great year, there is nothing better than a World Series success or 2. Billy Southworth, very confident, very trim, goes walking jauntily down toward third base. He's got a lot of bounce, that fella. First up for the Cardinals will be Kurowski, followed by Sanders, and then by Litwala. There's activity, rest assured, in the Yankee bullpen. Backing up Chandler in case he has trouble. These are 2 tough ball clubs. And the Yankees certainly can't go into this 9th inning with any great feeling of confidence with a 2-run lead, remembering what happened in the 9th inning of the first game of the World Series last year. The Cardinals almost turned it around right then and there at St. Louis. 2 great ball clubs. Each inning, each day, anything can happen. First pitch is over to Kurowski. Ball strike. 0-1. First man up in the 9th. Kurowski steps out. Time is called by the plate umpire. Now George digs in. The pitch swung, hit, just fouled behind third base. Johnson made the stop. He was taking no chances. Ball went foul. Not by much, but by enough. Strike 2. That was a screwball that Kurowski is very happy did go foul. He broke his bat on it. The pitch was coming down inside, and Kurowski went after it. And then when he connected, he hit it just above the thumbs because the ball was breaking back into his hands. 0-2. Krowski firmly planted in the middle of the box. Outfield toward left. Chandler pitches. Krowski swings. There's a sharp ground ball to short. Crizzetti up. The throw to first. In time. Krowski out by 2 steps. The Yankee lead of 2 runs is now 2 outs away from being sufficient. The Cardinals have but 2 outs left to do something about it. Krowski out. Well hit ball, but at the shortstop. Short to first, and here is Sanders, who after strike out in the second inning has had singled his last 2 tries, 2 for 3. Chandler pitches him low outside, missing him for ball 1. Sanders, who's had a great year. Tanbata takes a curveball in for a called strike. Johnny Hopp at the start of the year had a bad back and a bad neck. Sanders got his chance to play first base regularly, and he played it in such a fashion that when Hopp did get well again, he had to make a bid for left field. Sanders takes inside under the hands for ball 2. 2-1. Ray is very loose up there at the plate. Digs in. Chandler comes down. Sanders swings and misses. That was the screwball. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Every time there's a lull in the crowd, you can hear the shrill piping tones of the incessant chattering of shortstop Crizzetti. There's a pitch low outside, and the count runs full to 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sanders sets. 1 man out, nobody on. The pitch is swung on. There's a line drive right to Crizzetti, who holds it for the out. He took the ball just about an inch off the skin part of the left side of the infield. So it's 2 gone, and the Cardinals are now down to their last out here in this first game of the 1943 World Series. The score stands 4-2 in favor of the Yankees. And here are the crowd and financial figures. The total attendance is 68,676, so this was not the biggest all-time crowd. There was a bigger one last year. And the total receipts, $265,980. The first pitch to Danny Litwala is over for a called strike. Chandler pitching steadily. Reads the sign. Hung out by Bill Dickey. Bill stays down on his haunches, low back of the plate. The pitch swung on, hit right back to the mound. Chandler has it, close to first, and the ball game is over. The Yankees win it 4-2, and Chandler goes galloping off, and he has now added on to his 20 great games in the regular season. This one here for his first World Series win. It was a strongly played ball game, but I won't get into any of the details or the facts or figures at all, because I see that Bill Corum is working his way up through the press stands, and he'll be here in another moment to summarize the highlights of today's game for you. Before Bill takes over, I want to tell you why so many major leaguers, men like Ray Sanders, Danny Litwala, and Spud Chandler, to name a few, go all the way out in praising today's Gillette Blue Blade. The fact is, no other blade in all this world is as sharp and easy shaving. Gillette technicians spent years, not to mention millions of dollars, perfecting the specialized machines and instruments used in producing the Gillette Blue Blade. Needless to say, this precision equipment is exclusive with Gillette. Now, it stands to reason that without comparable facilities, it is impossible to manufacture a blade as keen and durable as this. So, fans, is it any wonder that today's Gillette Blue Blade gives so much more shaving comfort and all-round satisfaction than ordinary blades? Well, Bill Corum's over at the other microphone. Bill, how have you seen it this afternoon?
Well, Red, I've seen it as a kind of a wild and woolly ball game in which the pitching stood out, particularly that of Spud Chandler, who, the best pitcher in the American League, as most of us know, turned in a good pitching performance here this afternoon to turn back the Cardinals 4-2, the same score by which the Cardinals won the last game of the last World Series. Chandler was a master, and a good many of the hits and some of the runs came on misplays and freak plays of various kinds, but he wasn't a great deal better than Max Lanier, who pitched beautiful ball for the Cardinals and had plenty of trouble of his own. The totals 4, 8, and 2 according to my scorecard for the Yankees. 2, 7, and 2 for St. Louis. Now, I'm pretty sure that's correct. The scoreboard in front of me says 4, 9, and 2, but it's official. I have it correct. 4, 8, and 2 for the New York Yankees. 2, 7, and 2 for the St. Louis Cardinals. The standout playing, aside from Chandler's pitching, was turned in by Joe Gordon at second base. As fine second base play as I've ever seen on any ball field in any World Series. And I'm starting now my 24th without ever having missed a game, so I've seen quite a lot of World Series play. Gordon had 4 putouts, 8 assists, and started 1 double play and turned in some fielding plays down there that were absolute gems. Of course, he also hit a home run to duplicate his home run and about to the same spot of last year's series, and naturally it figured in the scoring, although only by 1 run. However, the missed plays, I think, really told the story of the game. The Cardinals weren't as jittery as they were in the first game last year in St. Louis, but in spite of playing all those hound dog records and their favorite phonograph records down in the clubhouse and doing a lot of singing before they came out on the field this afternoon, they still were not very hot afield. Around first base, a play in which Lanier himself figured hurt them badly, and Klein was a little bit on the jittery side. I thought at second base, although he too, as well as Gordon, made 1 or 2 brilliant plays. That was the story of a game which will not be remembered as one of the greatest and won't be the greatest in this series, I am reasonably sure, because these teams will both play better ball when they settle down. The Cardinals have no reason to feel completely out of it by any means. Anybody that beats Chandler is beating a great pitcher, and they hit him pretty well, especially in the closing innings when they began to close in on him. Musial getting his first hit of the series in the 8th inning, and Keller, also supposed to be the slugger for his side, King Kong, getting his first hit in the 9th. The hitters will tell in this series, and both teams can hit, we know. Of course, the Yankees didn't get that name, the Bombers, for nothing, and the old name they used to carry in the great days of Ruth and Gehrig up here at this stadium when they were known as Murderers Row. And Bob Musial, too, of course, who figured in on that. I suppose Harry Brecheen came in to finish for Lanier. I suppose that means that Southworth will likely go with his big right-hander, Mort Cooper, tomorrow. That's just a guess. I haven't asked him because I haven't had the opportunity, but somebody told me in the press box before I came up that he indicated that he would either pitch Cooper or Alpha Brazel in tomorrow's game. The left-handers did all right. Brecheen did very well, too. He's a cocky little fellow. He's not very big, but he has plenty of courage and excellent control, and he did all right in his relief role. I think Red gave you the total attendance, which wasn't a record, 68,676, with total receipts of $265,980. Those are the official figures, and once more I repeat the official figures on the runs, hits, and errors. 2 errors for both sides, 4 runs and 8 hits for the Yankees, 2 runs and 7 hits for the Cardinals, and the same score by which the Cardinals clinched the World Series last fall when Whitey Kurowski hit that home run. I want to say again that I know if you keep staying with us, and I know these crowds are going to stay with us, I look for a bigger crowd before the series leaves here in the stadium. They're going to see better baseball than we saw this afternoon. It was a hard-fought game all the way, but not a brilliant game aside from Gordon's fielding, and one stupendous play, terrific, as a matter of fact, by Harry Little Dixie Walker, brother of Big Dixie, in center field for the Cards. He robbed Chandler of a possible triple, even possibly a home run inside the park by racing over into deepest left center field, snatching the ball in his gloved hand, going over Danny Litweiler's legs, rolling over 3 or 4 times like an acrobat, but coming up with the ball. By all odds, the outstanding single fielding feature of the game. The hitting was good, not terrific. Gordon's 1 home run and the only really long hit ball of the whole game being the only thing outstanding in a hitting way. I think that pretty well covers it, but plan to be with us tomorrow via radio for the second game of the series here at the stadium. Tuning time will be 1:15 Eastern Wartime, same as today. So fans, until then, smooth sailing, smooth shaving, and good afternoon from your host, the Gillette Safety Razor Company, Fred Barber, Bob Elson, and Uncle Bill Coral. This is Mutual.
This is WGN, the voice of the people, Chicago.